Hey guys, and welcome. It's Monica here. I wanted to talk to you today about standing desks. Over the last 10 years, I have a lot more clients that have started using standing desks a lot more. And a lot of times with standing desks, a lot of my clients have thought that it would basically solve a lot of their postural issues. But unfortunately, it can definitely be helpful in helping a lot of postural issues that can come from hours of sitting, but it can also lead to other postural issues. And this video will be all about that, the 3 most common mistakes that I have found a lot of people make when it comes to using a standing desk. So why don't we just get right into it? And the number one issue that I find a lot of people making is wearing the wrong shoe. So I think a lot of people wear, male or female, going into the office, they pick the wrong shoe to wear. And now they're using their standing desks and they're wearing their formal shoe. So a lot of times I think it is because we are dressed to go into a corporate setting, we're going into the office, we are wearing more formal or business casual, and along with that comes typically more formal shoe. And a lot of times formal shoes just do not have the support needed to help you through a long day in front of your computer while you're standing. So a lot of people, they're wearing their business shoe, their casual business shoe, their office shoe, while they're using their standing desk. And unfortunately, some of the issues that come along with that are foot pain, calf pain, glute pain, and lower back pain, and it can even contribute to some neck pain as well. So if you're finding that you are wearing your office shoe, your business shoe, your formal shoe to work, and you're using a standing desk, something to consider is to bring in another pair of shoes. And the pair of shoes that I typically recommend for most people would be to wear an all-purpose shoe. So an all-purpose running shoe, or one of my favorites is just the low-impact hiking shoe. So it's a hiking shoe without the ankle support. It doesn't typically have any shoelaces. It's just something that you can slide your foot in, but typically they can come in different colors, and you can also match it to your outfit if that's an issue for you. But one thing I would recommend for a lot of my clients is that if they are wearing a formal shoe, to maybe have that shoe with a little bit extra support in their office, ready to just slide on whenever they are going to be doing a little bit more standing, a little bit more walking, or using their standing desk. So take a look at your shoes. If you find that they are flat, if you find that they have wear on the sole of the shoe, it's time to get rid of that shoe at that point and consider getting another pair of shoes for work, so you can maybe be more comfortable and for your body to take on less stress while you're standing in front of your standing desk. Okay, so the next issue that I see a lot of people making is when they are standing, they are locking their knees. So a lot of people will lock their knees just out of habit, especially when they're standing for a longer period of time. If you ever had to stand in line for your coffee or whatnot, you're probably locking your knee. So the same thing will happen when you are standing at your standing desk. So something that does happen when we lock the knee, it puts a lot of strain on the fascia, and it can contribute to calf issues, it can contribute to knee issues, it can contribute to glute issues, it could contribute to your lower back issues as well. So if you're finding that you are locking your knee while you're standing in front of your standing desk, just get a slight bend in your knee. And I'm going to tell you just from personal habit, because I was a knee locker and I still find myself locking my knees sometimes when I have to wait for a longer period of time, if I'm standing for a longer period of time. So I can tell you from experience, when you're used to locking the knee and then suddenly getting a slight bend in the knee, it's going to feel awkward and weird, almost like you're overly bending the knee. And unfortunately, you just have to get into the habit. Believe me, it's not that you're overly bending the knee. There isn't a huge bend in the knee. It's just that you're not used to bending the knee. You're used to basically hinging and locking the knee back. So you have to retrain your body, you have to retrain your mind that it's okay to bend the knee. And so if you find yourself locking the knee, just get a slight bend in there. And a great way to do that is to kind of check in with yourself a couple times throughout the day to see where your posture is at. So, you know, if you're working along and, you know, you feel like you need to go get a coffee or some more water or go to the washroom, that's a great time to kind of have a mental note of where my posture is as well before I do any of those things. So that includes, am I locking my knees? And if you are, just making sure that you put a slight bend and you stay in that posture just for a little bit for the body to know that this is where we want to be. And then you can go ahead and do your regular thing, if that's going to get a water or coffee or continue working. So that's kind of another habit that I see a lot of people going through when they get a standing desk. Another one would be to stand on one leg. So what happens is a lot of times when we stand for a long time, a lot of us will buckle the knee, but a lot of us will also pick one leg to stand on and then the other. And this is basically just trying to change your stance. And that is a-okay for a shorter period of time. But if we lock our knee and stand on one leg, on one hip for a prolonged period of time, it can cause things again like foot pain, knee issues, glute issues, and lower back pain, typically on one side. So something to really be mindful of if you are finding that you are that person that kind of just stands on one leg and flares out the hip, to basically try to go on both legs. And I should mention that we're all prone to this, but a lot of people that have had some injury to one of their legs will be even more likely to stand on one leg. So if there has been an injury to the right leg, somewhere to the right knee, to the right ankle, I find that a lot of people will almost want to protect it. They're not even aware that they're doing it. They don't want to protect it. They don't want to put so much weight on it. Maybe it's weaker. Maybe it feels more fatigued. They'll be more likely to stand on one leg. And unfortunately, when we do that and we flare out the hip, there's a lot of weight placed on that one side. Our whole body weight is basically being taken on by that one side and that one hip. So that can really contribute to hip issues as well. And I'm not saying you might feel it in the next day or two. I'm saying that over time, that wear and tear will unfortunately build up, and it might be a couple years, 3, 5, 10, 15 years. But the body will definitely react to that. Maybe not right away, but it will. So what you want to do is to put weight on both feet evenly, making sure that you don't lock the knees, and the legs being about shoulder width apart. And you can go back and forth from one side to the other to kind of get the blood flowing a little bit from one side to the other and get things maybe moving. And but if you know you're going to be on a longer phone call meeting, or you know you're going to be standing for whatever reason in a meeting, just making sure that you're putting the attention on standing on both feet rather than on one leg. Okay, so I hope those were helpful, but I also wanted to give you guys a bonus. And the bonus is that, especially clients that just get a new standing desk, and I'm using mine right now, that's why I'm kind of pointing to it, is that a lot of clients I have found stand for way too long when they first get it. So you have a standing desk and that's all they do. Their 8 to 10 hour workday, they stand throughout the whole day. They don't go back and forth of sitting and standing. And ideally, you should be doing that. So you might want to get adjustable standing desk if you haven't gotten one, or you might, if you don't have an adjustable standing desk, one of those really high stools, working stools, can go a long way as well, where you can kind of just rest your body and continue working. But making sure throughout any of that that you are in proper alignment and posture when it comes to your computer, because you don't want to be creating more bad habits and more habits that will alter your posture and change, which contributes to aches and pains. So if you can, change it up. Don't stand only, don't sit only, but change it up. And what I always try to communicate with my clients is that, you know, get into a habit of maybe sitting in the morning and standing in the afternoon, or if you know, that is if you have to move the desk up and down. Or you can also, if you have one of those sitting stools that will allow you to change positions very quickly, you might want to really have a mental note of, well, I've just been sitting for the last 90 minutes. For the next 90 minutes, I'm going to get up and I'm going to stand up. And just have a mental note, because all of those things really contribute, and they come together not only in how we feel at the end of the day, how much energy we have, how much aches and pains we have, but also how much energy we have to put into our work and how good we feel about it. And, you know, we reset certain neurological pathways and we reset our focus, and we become more productive that way as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you have any questions, let me know. If you would like to also join me for more conversation and more instruction on my free Facebook page, Olive Life Flavors, you please do so. And if you like this video, like and subscribe, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.